So the meeting had finished and Steve came up to me afterwards, obviously wanting to share something important with me. In the meeting he'd heard the statistics, 2,000 languages spoken in the world today that don't have a Bible translated. He'd heard the total number of people that represented 350 million. And he had something he wanted to share. He said to me, do you realize what percentage of the world's population we're talking about when we talk about 350 million? I didn't know, I hadn't done the calculation. And Steve had, and he said to me, if there's 7 billion people in the world today, that's 5% of the world's population. 5%! He said, you know, in the Bible, we're told in the story, the parable of the lost sheep, to go after even 1%. 99 are safe in the fold, but if there's one that's not accounted for, we're to go after it and find it. And he said, in this case, we're not looking at 1%, we're looking at 5% of the world's population that can't access God's Word because it's in a language they can't understand. Now, I thought that was interesting because I suspect that a lot of us would hear the statistics and we would say, wow, 2,000 languages, that's a lot of work. How many people is that? Only 5% of the world's population. Only 5%. Maybe we'd better spend our time looking after the 95% that are easier to reach. But I think that Steve had the biblical perspective, the perspective of the shepherd's heart, of God's heart, that says go and find the lost, the lonely, the hidden, the oppressed, the ones who aren't treated with honour and value, and bring them back into the fold. And I believe that fits the whole scenario of Bible translation. These languages represent people who are lost. They represent people who are often oppressed and lonely and undervalued and feeling not important. These are the languages of the world that don't have God's Word and don't understand God's love as a result. 5%. Pass it on.